Well, it seems that obviously when the info dropped from the KR stream with all that has happened, I think it's fair to say that the developers have delivered. There's a lot happening. The hype is there. The excitement is there. I'm seeing a lot of positivity, to be fair, from social media posts and from what everyone's just generally saying right through the comments and whatever posts that people are making, of course. So it's good to see that, you know, the developers did truly cook on that one, right? Just a few bits and bobs here. And I know a few people were slightly disappointed about the costume where Jinwoo's mask is not something that you can buy using your chromas, that it's actually exclusive, of course. I did see a few people kind of sad about that, and I get it. I understand, you know, I get it. Obviously, Isla is the talk around town. Now, Isla looks to be a very, very interesting character, because one thing which I decided to, I guess, go back on is to obviously watch out, check out her gameplay, and every time like a big ultimate animation played out, different variety of animations were playing out. So I think it's fair to say that, yeah, a full-on RNG support type character will most definitely make things a little bit more interesting. I mean, it could open up the doors of something more for this to happen for, you know, other characters if they want to go down that route of being an RNG type character. I mean, technically speaking, you know, the way they've done Isla, of course, it's more on the turret cards, of course. I mean, hey, why not have another character that is more to do with gambling, you know, rolling dice, you know, I mean, that's technically what Honkai Star Rail did in terms of their RNG character, so that's kind of why that's kind of the reference I'm getting on what they could do in terms of having another RNG character. I think an RNG DPS type character would be fairly interesting to see in terms of, like, you know, like crit boosts, defense penetration boost, damage increase boost, of course. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they go down that route. But yeah, Isla's very interesting. We'll see on what the confirmation is in terms of her kit, on determine on whether or not if her initial kit is more than enough, if we need to cater to dupes. But I say all of that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is about that time. You're damn right, it is about that time. Thomas has been found. So when it comes to the next update that we're going to be getting with the release of the new character, as you guys know, in the lobby, the newest character that is yet to be released, that is going to be next, is teased, and my boy Thomas has made his appearance. Obviously not yet. I mean, it's kind of like a bit of a secret, but bit of a confirmation. Thomas is officially next. He's got his drip, he's got his Hawaiian shirt on, he is looking, well, I mean, it's a bit blurry, but hey, he looks good, so I'm more excited. Now that I've seen that, I'm just like, you know what, gonna do the same situation to what I did with Charlotte, with Harper, and Gina. We're gonna get the bare minimum, hit the sweet spot, and we're going all in for my boy Thomas. Now, it's a good thing that I did close my Thomas giveaway, because from what I last heard, I mean, well, first things first, his weapon has been found. It's going to be the sunglasses, of course, and it will be light typing. So it's fair to say that maybe light typing is going to be the typing that he's going to be leaning more towards. Again, developers can make last-minute changes, as we're aware of, with example Gina, right? We thought she was a light typing, it came out to be a fire typing, but I think with Thomas it's more solidified to say that light typing is going to be his typing, especially when was it Deimos? The new horse boss, I think it's weak to light, because in the gameplay it did show that he was getting manhandled by the new free-to-play light spear, of course. So yeah, so I think, I mean, well, then again, I'm not too sure on how this is going to work in terms of if we're able to use hunters. And well, then again, raids will happen eventually, and I'm sure usage of Sun Jinwoo as well as hunters will be accessible, and so light typing might be the typing cater to. It really depends on what they've got planned for us in terms of the future content on, or whatever this is going to be. Of course, we understand that it is an original story, but we don't know what more it could play out in terms of it being some sort of boss raid event to gain some sort of reward or resources, of course. So that's something to take note of, and if that is the case, then yeah, light typing will be in question. Now, with all that being said, let's talk about Thomas. So as of right now, light typing are standing strong. Light typing is pretty much one of the best typing in the game. Where am I going with this? There we go, manage teams. And I think majority of us are leaning to say it's probably going to be taken up DPS, the DPS role, right? So obviously with the light typing, we've got our break, we've got our support, and we've got our DPS. What if I told you, again, this is from what I last heard, so things could change, because I mean we've still got a whole 3-4 weeks until Thomas releases, right? Because we still have the current update to drop, and then when that drops 20 days later or like 17 days later, that's when Thomas will drop. So basically 2 weeks, we'll say 3 weeks, why not, right? A lot of break info has been hinted towards for Thomas. Tanky, break, DPS. Now, I'm gonna be honest, Go kind of fits that perfectly. So it'll be interesting to see on if they do go down that route, because technically speaking, as much as a fantastic breaker Go is, this man hits hard, right? It's fair to say that Go himself can also possess a good amount of damage, unless we get the first ever breaker to do absurd amount of damage. Because I will say, with Go, it is slightly on par with what my G will do over time, of course. Although I think Go himself is very more consistent through his skill attacks, with it being slightly higher than Jiwoo, of course. But either way, damage output wise, I'm eager to see on whether or not if it will be closer to what DPSs do. In terms of it being kind of unique. Again, this is half anniversary, this is Thomas, I'm expecting something crazy. I assume that maybe if they want to make him as a fantastic brace breaker with DPS damage, to where then his ultimate is factored in, which potentially transforms him to then elevate his DPS even further more. Maybe it could make it so that all of his skills have almighty break. I think that would be pretty broken, right? There's so much things that they could do to actually for him to slightly surpass Go. I mean, could we even say, well, no, I'm not just going to say he's going to be full DPS and surpass Chaeyoung. Chaeyoung's ultimate nuking is still going to be one of the best, of course. So I'm always going to cater to that, of course. But if we are going to be getting Thomas, and if there are hints to say that he will have some form of break effect, tank, break, DPS. That is the only words that I know of in terms of what I've been told. I don't know if they're going to commit to it. I genuinely thought they were going to fully commit to running a DPS on him. That would have been fairly interesting to see on how that would have worked. But there are ways to make him more superior to Go. And the crazy thing is, we know how fantastic Go is. Go himself is one of the best breaker, or if not the best breaker in the goddamn game. So to have a half anniversary character, aka it be Thomas, to come around and to kind of take Go's role, surely it has to surpass him. What if he transforms and he has a wait, base form, breaker, tank, ultimate form, DPS? Oh my god, that will be cool. That would be so dope if they do that. Ooh, what do we think, boys? What do we think? How do we feel about a set changing, role changing transformation character? Now that, to me, that sounds like anniversary.